Back to my channel Learning Station. Before we start reading, I'd like to share another tongue twister, which is the big fat cat sat on the rat. Okay, now I'm going to try it. Let's see how many times I can say it fast. The big fat cat sat on the rat. The big fat cat sat on the rat. The big fat cat. Oh my god, I'm doing a lot of mistakes. So we'd start reading. Today we'll be reading from page number 11 onwards. Jane and her mother go into a shop. Mother wants to buy a new hat. As his mother and sister go into the shop, Peter tells his father that he thinks they will be a long time. We have plenty to do, says father. First, we must send off the letter and then get some things for the garden. It's just the weather to work in the garden, says Peter. We'll give you plenty of help at Mr. White's house. Peter and his father go in and out of the shops for a long time until they have all they want. Then they go to find Mother and Jane. Jane and her mother go into the shops. Mother wants to buy a new hat, and Jane goes along with her mother for shopping, as shown in the picture. Meanwhile, Peter tells his father that it will take them long, so father decides to do some shopping for Mr. White's garden. Father and Peter have to wait some time for Mother and Jane. Then Peter says, I can see them now. Here they are. Mother has bought a new hat. I hope you like the hat I've bought, she says. I like it, says Peter. You have found a nice one. Yes, you have picked a nice one, says father. I think it's lovely. We both like it. Father and Peter wait for Jane and Mother to come back. And when they come back, Mother tells them that she has bought a new hat. Peter tells that I like it, and so does the father. In the picture, we can see Mother wearing the hat. Mother looks happy. A woman always likes a new hat, she says. I haven't bought another hat this year. We had to wait a long time, Peter says to Jane. It made me think you were lost. When are we going to see the big garden? Asks Jane. Can we go today? Father says, we have too much to do today. We'll go over in 2 days' time. I put that in my letter to Mr. White. I want to see him before he goes away. We should have a talk before he goes. Come on now, it's 5 o'clock and time to go home. So, Mother is happy as in the picture after buying her new hat, but the children want to go to Mr. White's garden the same day. However, their father says that he wants to meet Mr. White first and they can go later on. Then they plan to go home. Today, Mother, Father and the children are going by car to see Mr. White and his house and garden. It is a sunny day. What beautiful weather, says Mother as she gets into the car. Yes, says father. It's a lovely day to go out in the car. He tells the children the way that they will go. Soon the car is going fast along the road. It goes up over the hill and then down by the woods. After this, it goes by the farm. The children look out of the windows of the car and talk. There's the donkey, says Peter. Yes, the dear old donkey, says Jane. We must go and see him soon. So it's another day. Beautiful weather, says mother, and they're going to Mr. White's garden and house finally. Father tells them the way to the house, and the children enjoy the journey as shown in the picture. Then they come to Mr. White's house. The car stops by a door in a wall. The door is closed. This is the garden door, says father. It is a lovely sunny wall. It is yellow and there are flowers on the top of the wall. Some beautiful butterflies are by the flowers. I love butterflies, says Jane. So they have stopped by a door and the father tells them that it's the garden door, which the children find beautiful. Father and mother go round to the other door to see Mr. White. Peter and Jane wait in the car by the door in the yellow wall. They look at the wall and at the lovely blue flowers and butterflies. The garden door has private on it. Can you read what's on the door? Peter asks Jane. Yes, it's private, she says. I can read private too, says Peter. It means people can go in only if they want to see Mr. White. Yes, says Jane. Private means that the door and the garden are for his use only. The door is closed, but soon they can hear some people in the garden. Then the door opens and they hear their father call. Peter and Jane push the car door open, jump out and go in the garden door. So the father and mother go in from another door. Meanwhile, Peter and Jane sit in the car and wait. They see on the door of the garden a word which is private. And they ask each other if they could read the word. Private means that the door and the garden are for his use only and nobody else other than Mr. White can go without his permission from that door. There are their father and mother with Mr. White. This is Mr. White, says father, and here are Peter and Jane. Mr. White tells the children he is glad they want to help with the garden. As shown in the picture, that when father calls Peter and Jane through the private door, he introduces them to Mr. White. He tells them that it's Peter and she is Jane and they are ready to help to look after your garden. Mr. White wants them to see his garden. Peter and Jane and their mother have not been there before. Come round with me, he says. I am always happy to take people round my garden. Then you must come into the house for a cup of tea before you go back. As shown in the picture, Mr. White takes them on a visit to their garden, and he tells that I'm happy to show my garden to people and we should have tea after that. The questions from today's video are: what did Peter and Jane's mother buy for herself? Question number 2 is: which animal they found on their way to Mr. White's house? And my question number 3 is: what was written on the garden door of Mr. White? Please share the answers of your young ones in the comment section below. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to share and subscribe to my channel.